A woman sat at her dinner table and watched, powerless, as her own left hand reached out, grabbed her plate, and threw it across the room. She didn't tell it to move. She didn't want it to move. But her hand had its own plans, and she was just a witness to her own body's rebellion. This is the reality of alien hand syndrome. It exposes a truth that is far more uncomfortable than any ghost story. The you sitting there right now is not the only one pulling the levers inside your head. You are a passenger in a body controlled by a committee that doesn't always invite you to the meetings. You felt the edges of this before. It's that moment you say something cruel before you've even processed the thought. Or when your hand reaches for a phone you swore you wouldn't check. In the 1960s, neuroscientists like Roger Sperry and Michael Gazzaniga studied patients who had the connection between their brain hemispheres severed to treat epilepsy. The results changed everything we thought we knew about identity. One patient would put on a pair of pants with his right hand, while his left hand followed closely behind, pulling them back down. Another man tried to pull his wife close with one arm, while the other arm firmly pushed her away. The two halves of the brain weren't just disconnected. They had different goals, different preferences, and entirely different personalities. But that's not even the disturbing part. When researchers showed a command like walk to the nonverbal right side of the brain, the person would stand up and start moving. When asked why they were walking, the verbal left side of the brain, which saw nothing and had no idea why the body was moving, didn't say, "I don't know." Instead, it instantly invented a reason. "I wanted to get a glass of water," the patient would say. The dark twist is that your brain is constantly gaslighting you. It performs actions based on hidden impulses you don't understand, and then it constructs a neat, logical story to make you believe you were in charge the whole time. You are often the last person to know why you actually did something. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. If your brain can act independently of your will and then lie to you about it, then the ego you cherish is really just a public relations department. It's a narrator taking credit for the work of a complex biological machine it doesn't actually control. This is why high-level manipulation is so effective. A manipulator doesn't need to convince you. They only need to trigger the hidden driver, knowing your conscious mind will reflexively invent a justification for it later. This next part might genuinely change how you see people. The revelation is that the sense of being a single unified self is a carefully maintained illusion. We are a collection of competing subsystems held together by a thin narrative. You aren't the captain of the ship. You're just the person standing on the deck explaining why the ship turned left after the rudder had already moved. You believe you are in control of your next move, but your brain may have already decided what it is, and it hasn't told you yet. If this changed how you think, subscribe. There's more your brain doesn't want you to know.